While coffee is the most widely consumed beverage in the world, next to water, of course, here are 5 interesting things you didn't know about coffee. Number 5, coffee was once considered a black, bitter invention of Satan. In the early days of its discovery, coffee was seen as a mysterious and powerful substance. It was consumed by monks and scholars as a way to stay awake during long religious studies and ceremonies, but not everybody welcomed this new drink with open arms. Some religious leaders considered coffee to be a, quote, black, bitter invention of Satan. They saw it as a dangerous and distracting substance that would lead people away from their spiritual practices. In fact, in the 15th century, in Mecca, known as the City of the Prophet, a law was issued against coffee, stating it was a tool of Satan to keep people away from the mosque. But as coffee began to spread and its popularity grew, it eventually gained widespread acceptance. People from all walks of life, from poets to merchants, gathered to sip on this new drink and share ideas. By then, it was no longer seen as a devilish indulgence, but as a daily bread, a necessary part of life for many people. It has become a symbol of community and ritual that connects us all, but it's important to remember the dark history that surrounds its origins and how one substance can be perceived differently. Number 4. 1 cup of coffee takes up to 140 gallons of water to produce. That's right. Coffee is one of the most widely consumed beverages in the world, but the process of growing and producing the beans is not as simple as it may seem. On average, it takes about 37 gallons of water to produce 1 single cup of coffee. However, the amount of water used can vary depending on the method of production and the type of coffee beans. In some cases, it can take up to 140 gallons of water to produce just 1 cup of coffee. What's even worse is the Specialty Coffee Association, never knew that was a thing, declared 1 cup of coffee is 6 ounces. Now, I don't know about you, but my oversized I Love New York mug is definitely larger than 6 ounces. This means 1 cup of coffee could be upward of 200 gallons of water. To compound this issue, it said that over 1 billion people a day drink coffee. Not only that, but 2 billion cups are consumed every day. I mean, my definitely not 6 ounce mug may be considered, let's say, 4 cups of coffee, but that's a lot of Joe. Now, there are a number of ways to reduce the water footprint of coffee production. I won't go into those here because I don't think any of us are coffee farming. However, these methods can help farmers conserve water and produce coffee more sustainably. Remember, every cup of coffee we drink is connected to the lives and struggles of those who grew and harvested the beans. Number 3, coffee is the second most traded commodity in the world, only behind petroleum. Coffee is the world's oldest and most widely consumed beverage in the world. But did you know that it's also the second most traded commodity in the world, only behind petroleum? That's right, coffee is big business, literally next in line to gasoline. Coffee is grown in over 60 countries and is a major source of income for millions of farmers, workers, and communities around the world. The global coffee industry was valued at over $493 billion in 2022 and is only expected to keep growing. Despite the booming coffee industry, it's not without its challenges. Small farmers often struggle to compete with larger, more industrialized farms and can get paid very low prices for their beans. This can make it difficult for them to make a living wage and support their families. Despite this, over 1 billion people drink coffee every single day. Number 2, coffee is actually a cherry. When you think of coffee, you probably think of a dark, rich bean that's ground and brewed to make your morning cup. But did you know that the coffee is actually a cherry? Yes, you heard that right. Coffee's a fruit. Coffee cherries are the fruit that surround the coffee bean. The coffee beans are found inside the coffee cherry, enclosed in a protective layer called the parchment. And the best part is, these coffee cherries can be consumed as well. Coffee cherries can be eaten fresh or dried. They are said to be sweet and fruity and can be made into a smoothie or a sweet snack. Some people also make a tea out of the dried coffee cherries for its unique taste and experience. However, most coffee cherries are processed to extract the bean. The beans are then roasted, ground, and packed to be shipped around the world and brewed into a delicious drink we all know and love. But next time you take a sip of coffee, remember that it all started with a cherry. Number 1, the world's most expensive coffee is made from beans that have been pooped out by an animal. That's right, the luxury of Kopi Luwak. Let's uncover the surprising story behind the world's most expensive coffee. Coffee is considered one of the world's most beloved beverages, but did you know that there's a type of coffee that is considered the epitome of luxury? It's called Kopi Luwak, and it's made from beans that have been eaten and then excreted by a small mammal called the civet. Now, I've never even heard of this thing either, so here's a photo of it. And through my extensive Google research, including two searches, I've been assured it's not a cat, even though it may look like a cat. The civet eats the coffee cherries, but it can't digest the bean inside. Instead, the beans are passed through the civet's digestive system and excreted. These beans are then collected, cleaned, and roasted to make a unique and expensive coffee. The process of producing Kopi Luwak is not only unique, but it's also very rare. That's why it's considered a luxury item and can cost up to $100 per pound. The flavor of the coffee is said to be unique, with a distinctive smoothness and a hint of chocolate. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not sure about that chocolate flavor. So that's a wrap, everyone. Coffee has an interesting history. It went from being a black bitter invention of Satan to rich people are now eating coffee that's pooped out by other animals. So be sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos about the interesting history and facts about coffee.